Hello and welcome to another episode of Historic Hindsight. I'm John, that's Tom, and today we're talking about petulant children.
That's right, Johnny. Petulant children, if they ran our country
Oh,
back
could you
in
imagine?
back in the olden day, Johnny. We're specifically talking about the election of 1800 and election firsts.
Wait, so we're actually talking about people that did run our country.
Yes, that were petulant children. Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is our third
Okay.
episode in our Presidents Are Assholes series that we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I had to have a little leeway in between Adams and Jefferson because, well, they were the best of friends who wind up hating each other and then coming back
Oh.
together at the end. So it really
So we got some drama here.
Yeah, we got
this
some
is
drama.
this is daytime soap opera television type stuff here. So they ran against each other.
Yes,
in this,
Johnny, they
this
were.
Next election?
So, if you remember from the last episode, Jefferson's actually the vice president to Adams because in the last election, Adams won, and then Jefferson
and this
became the vice president because that was the trend.
And this is back in the day when the people running against each other.
Yeah,
Winner
whoever
was
lost.
number one. Loser just became number two.
Yeah, loser became
just-
number two. Yep.
That's
So-
how it worked. Which seemed like a great idea, probably until people considered assassinations and stuff.
Well, it's a great idea until pretty much this election.
happened.
So the election of 1800, Johnny, is the
So
first.
so three elections. It was a good.
Yeah, pretty much it was that. So
Or
it is
two.
it is the first actual campaign for presidents. I mean, the previous election had like some minor campaigning going on, but like this is like Adams was going out there campaigning, Jefferson was going out there campaigning, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yeah, stepping up on a soapbox in the center of a town and hollering their.
Yep, trying to
why you
gain,
should vote for me stuff.
campaigning, gaining money, gaining support, all that fun stuff going state to state. And it also was the first smear campaign where that was the primary tool that both candidates used against each other.
So literally, it took one time going out and these two guys being like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell everybody why they should vote for me." Quickly realizing that didn't work, and immediately just flip into, you know what? I'm just gonna get them mad at the other one, so that they vote for the lesser of two evils.
Pretty
Because
much.
we're their options.
But I have to set the stage up for you guys. So Adams and Jefferson were the best of friends. They loved each other. When Jefferson lost his wife, Martha, it was Adams and his wife, Abigail, that brought and consoled Jefferson into their house and basically turned him into family. They took him in. They helped raise Jefferson's kids all together. Like they were the best of friends. This is me and you,
it's
Johnny.
us, Tommy.
We are the bestest of friends.
I would do the same for you. You can come and live with me.
Yeah, if anything happens to my wife, same with
Yeah,
with
you know what? It doesn't even matter. Just
Doesn't
both
even
of you
matter, yeah,
come.
just
It's
kick it.
fine. We'll start a commune.
Compound. Yeah, I'm all about the compound, Johnny. It was actually Adams that chose Jefferson to write the damn Declaration of Independence, and these bros did everything together. It's us in a nutshell. But everything
And
started
then
to change.
all of a sudden they went against each other, and they're like, "Well, f that guy."
Well, it all started to change in the election of 1796 when Adams is going to win over Jefferson, and Jefferson becomes the vice president. And both political parties at the time
what?
try to start to sully each other's names because at this time, you had basically two lines of thought here. You had Adams' lines of thought, which was that the Constitution was a flexible piece of paper that could be bent to your will or changed to fit your own
Guidelines.
needs.
Suggestions on how to run a country.
Versus Jefferson, who's like, nope, pretty sure it's not. Like Jefferson, thought that it would get rewritten every so often, but when it was written, that's what it is. You don't like
All
it,
right,
you
so-
rewrite it. You can't change what it is. You can't bend it. You either rewrite it or it is gospel. That is what we go with. That's it.
Fundamentalist Christians versus Lutherans, for example,
Exactly, Johnny.
essentially is what we're dealing with here.
Yes, exactly. It doesn't help that Jefferson was also all about the French Revolution and cheered King Louis's beheading, while Adams was kind of, in love with the French crown, and so this didn't really help things because, in the previous administration, when Adams was the vice president to Washington, Jefferson was on the cabinet of Washington, and then when this whole French Revolution thing happened, and Washington didn't agree to go and aid the French Revolution, Jefferson said, "To hell with this, I'm out." He resigned, said he was going to retire from politics forever. And Adams wrote a letter to his son saying that Jefferson was just a whiny little bitch who was only going to be out of politics for as long as Washington was in office. And the minute that Washington stepped out of office, he was going to step back in.
Of course, that's true. Now,
Jefferson liked to hold on. He also said that Jefferson liked to stuff his slaves to a letter to his son, which I'm not. I would never write a smear campaign letter to my kids about you, Johnny. It would make no sense, and my kids wouldn't give a shit. They'd be like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, yeah, that's the real kicker there. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares
about that, Pops. Now, real quick, so he's upset because we didn't help the French. What have the French ever done to warrant our help?
Watch our French war episode.
Why would we even help the French?
Watch our French episode, Johnny. I think we pretty much went over that one. Now, all these tensions become a problem because when Adams wins the White House in 1796, he starts to shit all over the Constitution, making it illegal to talk shit about the president, which Jefferson sat back and said, you can't, no, that violation of the freedom of speech and the freedom of press. You can't go against that.
That's number one. I thought maybe he was digging down on 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. The ones where people are like, throw one more suggestion in. But number one, off the bat, said, I don't like it if people talk bad about me. I'm soft. Please don't.
Which is one of the things that people said about him. He was a little soft.
Well, and that's a bad way to go about fixing that issue is, now it's illegal to call me soft. I'll show you. I'll throw your ass in jail if you call me soft and sensitive.
So Jefferson's like, that's a violation of free speech. You can't do that, Adams. And Adams is like, you know what? You're right. We can still talk shit about the vice president, but the president can't do that. Vice president, that's fine. Talk shit about him all you want, but not me. Not me. Him? Okay. Me? No.
We are very shortly removed from being a part of a monarchy, right? This is
we're already there.
30 years, not far removed, and already our potentially third president, right?
Yeah, no, well, he's our second.
Fourth? Okay, so already our second.
Yeah, second.
Is trying to go back to the monarchy.
Yeah, trying to go back to monarchy. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that was one of the big criticisms of Adams was that he is kind of a monarchy lover.
He's a bit of a Brit. He's a
bit of a Brit.
That's a smear campaign I'd run. Be like, where are his fish and chips?
It also doesn't help that during this time, tensions with France start to come to a boil because under the Washington administration, they signed a peace treaty with Britain that basically said, hey, Britain, can you please stop stealing our boats? And if you do that, we won't, bitch about it, I guess. I don't know. And then that pissed off the French, and they're like, well, we're going to start stealing the American boats, which they do, which then pisses off Adams when he becomes president. So Adams then basically wages a quasi-war with France, in which we raise a military and a navy that we didn't have before, and then start going off and stealing French vessels all in the Caribbean, which Jefferson really didn't like. He's like, no, these are our allies. Why are we going to war with them? These are our besties. And Adams is like, no, the French crown was our besties. These are a bunch of rebels that we don't support.
Now, when you consider that it's just people in charge giving orders to all these boats, this really is toddlers in a playground in the sand pit with their pretend cars and boats or whatever, and they just start stealing each other's.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then the third one gets involved, and this is so petty.
Yeah, it's very petty.
I thought this nation was built by men's men.
Petty.
Just a bunch of fucking children.
Nothing's changed.
Who are allowed to go be in charge and play their little games. That's, God bless it.
Yep. In any case, we fast forward to the election of 1800, where all those built-up tensions come crashing down. Jefferson immediately begins attacking Adams on his whole freedom of speech thing and the quasi-war with France.
That's fair.
Which is also fair. These are fair points.
I mean, you're going to... I mean, that's also just raising awareness about the shitty things your opponent's done. Listen to what he's doing, and then I'm going to do this differently. That's not necessarily just dragging his name in the mud.
No, he also says that he blames Adams for not paying the French debts, which Adams says, well, we didn't have to pay the French debts anymore because we owed those debts to the crown, and the crown doesn't exist, so not paying those.
That's one of my favorite bits of things that I've learned and retained while doing this channel is that they're like, no,
that makes me love Adams.
Our debt went away when that king's head was severed from his body.
Yep, that
was
down.
you cutting ties with any money we owed.
Yeah, pretty much. The attacks left the political world pretty quickly.
That's not how it works.
The attacks left the political world pretty quickly and became personal when Jefferson accused Adams of being, and I quote, a hideous hermaphrodilic character. He calls in a newspaper Adams a hermaphrodite.
A hermaphrodilic character.
Yeah, a hermaphrodilic
So
character.
he resembled somebody who might be a hermaphrodite. Let's give him a little bit of benefit. But he's calling him ugly. Essentially, is what that's the dig he's trying to get at is. Well, he is this hideous, androgynistic, maybe man, maybe woman thing. Is that what he's doing?
Definitely full out accuses him of having both male and female bits in the article that's in the paper. Yeah, he definitely. It's not just hermaphrodite character. It's you are a hermaphrodite.
No,
which he wasn't. Which he wasn't, because if you know anything about science, hermaphrodites can't have children, and Adams had some children. So one of them became a president.
Had some mixed kids too.
No. Oh, that
was Adam. No,
that's
I'm
Jefferson.
back.
That's Jefferson.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Scrub that from my name. I'm sorry. I'm dragging him under the bus now.
Now, Adams is going to respond to Jefferson's claims in newspapers by calling Jefferson a mean-spirited, low-lived fellow. So, Adams, you might want to hire a better publicist to come up with a smear campaign, because that one does not meet up with the whole hermaphrodite.
This is a good example of why politicians today hire millennials and Gen Zers to run their Twitter handles, or why they should if they don't. Because a bad man, which he's not wrong. He's mean-spirited and being a bad-mannered fellow or whatever the hell he said. I do better. He called you a hermaphrodite.
Yeah. Adams is going to go on and suggest that, in his campaign speeches, that if Jefferson is elected, murders are going to skyrocket under Jefferson. There's going to be incest running rampant.
What?
That people's wives would become whores, having sex with lots of dudes. And he publishes in the paper that you shouldn't vote for Jefferson.
What?
This is my favorite. He publishes in the paper that you shouldn't vote for Jefferson because Jefferson is dead.
This is our current sitting president at this time, right?
Yeah.
And he said he's going. Why are women?
No, there's no explanation. Yeah, there's no explanation.
No,
explanation for any of that.
Things are going to happen.
Things are going to go to shit. Things are going to go to shit.
Don't ask why or how or for what reason.
And don't even vote for the dude because the dude's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's not even alive. He's not a real person. Don't vote.
I don't think you can do that. Is it? It's not. I guess it's not.
Well, you can't make those claims if it's the president, but you can if it's the vice president.
If it's a vice, yeah, and I guess as president or monarch or
you can do whatever he wants.
You can make up whatever. He's dead. Tommy, people aren't going to believe that.
Yeah, people definitely did. So in response,
it's not like they could turn on the TV and prove it wrong. They have to wait for the next newspaper to come to be like, hold on, actually.
Well, even then, you're just believing.
We have more recent quotes.
You're just believing newspapers, which at this point were more tabloids than they were actual news.
Oh my God!
They were really bad.
Everybody, do yourself a favor. Get on the national newspaper website, whatever it is. Look up 1860 newspaper or something. You'll find it. There's a whole archive. And
they're bad.
It is not news. Just the opinion section.
Yeah, pretty much. So in response, Jefferson is going to hire a tabloid writer, essentially it's a tabloid writer that he hires, by the name of James Callender, to accuse Adams of wanting to start war with France, which he pretty much did start a war with France.
Quasi.
So Adams has Callender arrested for libel because it was only a quasi-war after.
That's right. Yeah, you see, and that's an important distinction between a full-blown war and a quasi-war. And if he is going to go ahead and just make stuff up, we can't have people doing that, right?
So
can't just lie.
When Jefferson,
right, Adams?
Yeah, right. And spoiler alert here: when Jefferson wins the election, Adams has a hissy fit and says, "Fine, first, not coming to your inauguration. You won, and this was bullshit, and I'm not coming to your inauguration. I'm not going to do it. Second off, that whole tradition where the loser becomes the vice president. Yeah, not going to do that either. Not going to be a vice president." And before
not showing up.
Yeah,
not going to do my job. Okay, all right. Quick question: did we have something in place for a situation?
Yeah, Jefferson.
Not exactly like this, but maybe the vice president died of a heart attack in between.
Well, Jefferson. I mean, this was before Jefferson was even sworn in, so he just picked some other dude, like we do now.
Well, right, but so that was the process and solution was he just decides.
Just pick.
He can just pick anybody, and
somebody.
The people who voted for him have to go along with the person he picked.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much what we do nowadays, Johnny. Now,
no, you know ahead of time though.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
So,
on his way out of office, though, Adams made sure that he put in every government appointed position assholes that were completely and totally opposed to everything that Jefferson wanted to do. So, good luck running this country, Jefferson. Because
could you imagine a president just putting a ton of people that are incompetent or have conflicted interests in these spots?
Whew. Like appointing 5 or 6 Supreme Court justices before you leave.
Yeah, like that, or putting like oil CEOs in charge of the EPA, things like that.
Oh God, that'd be glorious.
What the? Disastrous for the country.
And by the way,
what a jerk doing that too.
Right. And once Jefferson wins the election, remember Callender's still sitting here in jail. Callender reaches out to Jefferson and says, "Hey, can you get me out of jail now that you're president and I didn't libel you? Can you pardon me or something? Get me out."
Yeah, and so he pardons him.
And Jefferson goes, "Nah, dog. You did libel. I mean, I can't believe you badmouthed the president like that. Just sit in jail."
What?
So when Callender is when he's finally released from jail, Johnny.
Did he assassinate Jefferson?
No, he does one better. He uncovers Jefferson's love affair with his slave mistress in an article titled Dusky Sally. And by the by, Jefferson never actually formally denies these allegations in the newspaper.
Yeah, this guy's like, hey, go ahead and I dare you to arrest me for libel on this one, pal.
Yeah.
Because I got receipts. And you're done for.
He's like, yeah, I definitely did that. If you do, hey, DNA and me prove half of everybody in the United States is related to Jefferson.
So I remember seeing something about some small island Asian country or something. I'm sorry, I don't know the specifics, but basically dictator type, banana republic type government, whatever. And the tabloids got a hold of some tapes that they had, filmed him having sex, having affairs or whatever.
Nice, yeah.
And this guy instead of being like, oh, well, I need to give them to your demands, he's like, could I please have copies of those? Because that's amazing, and I would love that.
I'd love to.
That's basically what Jefferson's doing here. He's like, you know what? Let me send you a few more details, see if you can throw those in. And a little saucy.
Yeah, right?
Right, one of those romance novels I've been hearing so much about.
So 4 years after the election, Johnny, are going to pass, and Jefferson's daughter is going to pass away, sadly. So Adam's wife...
Rest in peace.
So Adam's wife, Abigail, was like, it's time to end this feud between the two of you. And mind you, they haven't spoken a word in the last 4 years. So Abigail's like, all right, the dude, basically our daughter died. The dude's daughter died. At the very least, write him a letter of condolence.
At that point, even if we had our petty squabbles and everything, I have to reach out to you. I send some flowers at least, right? Yeah. Something.
Adams goes, nah, not going to do that. Not going to write him a letter. So Abigail...
Now, I have all sorts of social anxieties and things like that, but even I would...
Write a letter.
Step up and do something there.
Now, Abigail takes it upon herself to write a letter to Jefferson, who responds...
Behind every strong man, right?
Yeah, behind every strong man is a strong woman. But unfortunately, Jefferson's wife has passed away, and so he does not have a strong woman behind him.
So Jefferson gets
a strong wife behind him. I'm sure there are plenty of strong...
he's got some women that he's behind anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so Jefferson's going to respond to this letter to Abigail by basically saying, thank you, really appreciate your condolences, but take those condolences and tell Adams to shove them up his ass. So Abigail looks at Jefferson or Adams.
These men are in their 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
They're point. Up there. These are grown.
These are grown men. Yeah.
Adults who have been in charge of the country. Both of them at this point in charge of the country.
Have been in charge of the country. Yes. Yeah. Yep. And so Abigail's like, all right, fine. Wash our hands of this douche nozzle.
I mean, yeah, she tried. She sent out the peace leaf, and she's like, I did my
Yeah,
part.
she did.
What are you going to do?
And he's a disgrace.
Guy's an asshole.
Like a decade goes by without these men talking, and that isn't until a mutual friend of theirs, a fellow Declaration of Independence signer by the name of Benjamin Rush, who pops off a letter to both men saying that the other was eager to rekindle their friendship. This is some third-party dude going,
Is it
hey, he pops off a
from
letter to
him?
Jefferson.
So from
him, he
each
goes,
other.
Hey, Jefferson,
It
Adams
went-
really wants to rekindle. And then he pops off a letter to Adams and says, hey, Jefferson really wants to rekindle this friendship. Can you guys, you should
I
just
think-
bury the hatchet.
I think every single 90s sitcom has used this literary tactic in one of their episodes where,
you might be right,
know,
Johnny.
some third party pairs up the two and they're like, well, I guess I'll meet up if he says he's going to meet up. I guess I'll meet up if he says he's going to. And then they get there and they're bamboozled again. But yeah, rekindle our differences anyhow, right? And
yeah.
so, but I'm guessing sitcoms got it wrong, right?
Rush finally convinces Adams to pop off the first letter to Jefferson when he tells Adams that he had a dream where Adams and Jefferson, and I quote, sunk into a grave nearly at the same time, full of years and rich in gratitude and praises for their country and themselves. So basically saying, like, I had a dream where you guys die essentially on the same day, but you die, like, happy, you die praising the country, you die praising each other, like...
This is kind of the first I have
yeah.
a dream speech.
Yeah,
How much
kind
did
of, yeah.
MLK Jr. steal from this?
We'll do an episode on him down the road later because he wasn't the
Probably
host.
none, though, right?
Upstanding, yeah.
Probably didn't.
Anyway, he never had. I guarantee you that that MLK never had any accusations of copywriting materials.
There you go. Okay, that's
never did
good.
that.
So yeah, he's fine.
So Adams is going to write the first brief letter to Jefferson on January 1st, 1812, basically just saying, hey, yo, what's up? What's up, boo? Miss ya. What you doing?
Oh yeah. Hey, got a new number. Here it is. Just checking in.
And instead of saying who dis, Jefferson actually responds positively, and they have a 158 exchanged letter that rekindles their friendship over the next couple of 158 letters are written between
58.
Yeah, these and this
Get a room.
This isn't.
Could
this
you
isn't like-
imagine?
This isn't tight. These are handwritten shit with quill pens. This should take time. Yeah.
Could you imagine like having that many interactions with your friend over the course of
I think we have that many text messages in a day. I think we have that in a day. But the times are a little different. It's not text messages. These are letters.
Yeah, it takes a lot more. And it's postage too. That's I mean, that's
somebody's got to deliver this
money
shit.
and stamps and envelopes and paper and ink and everything.
They're gonna rekindle their friendships. They discuss their mutual love for the country. They discuss their mutual goals for how they want to see the country go. They even talk about their agreements that slavery should probably end.
What?
No, you missed that part, Joe. They discuss about how they think slavery should end. Both of them agree. Jefferson, mind you, agrees that, slavery should end. I mean, I'm not going to free my slaves, but slavery should end. That's what Jefferson does here.
What? This is 1800, right?
Yeah, this is like 1812, yeah.
This is 65 years before slavery ends?
50, yeah, 55. But yeah, yes, 1812. Slavery ends in 1865.
Oh, it's 1812. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we jumped ahead from the election. Okay,
jumped ahead.
Okay. But I'm sorry. Still, this is a generation and a half.
Yep. They
prior,
even suggest,
and they're already discussing. Yeah, you know what? Maybe the slavery thing that we built this entire country on is not such a good thing.
Nope. They even suggest in their letters here, Johnny, that neither should die without the other explaining what the hell they were thinking in 1800, which basically was, dude, I wanted to get elected. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
It's been a decade and a half. At this point, you're without any of the emotions connected to the things that you were doing or the things that were done to you at that time.
I mean, basically, you have Adams who's
at this level of things. They're not carrying all of that with them. They're clearly carrying some of it because they're petty old men. But at this point, the emotions are removed, and you're just like, God, I was trying to win an election.
And basically, you have Adams
who tabloids. They'll write anything.
Yeah, they write anything. You have Adams who's like, dude, you called me a hermaphrodite, and Jefferson who's like, yeah, and you fucking shit all over freedom of speech. So we're even, bro.
Those are different things. That's not. Those aren't even a little bit the same. One is just a lie, And the other is a thing the guy did.
The guy told you. But in any case, they explain their positions, and they truly do rekindle their lifelong friendship. They become friends again. I mean, this is like,
I mean, that's good, because they're on their deathbeds, right? They've got it close.
They're another decade and a half, because we're going to fast forward to 1826, when Jefferson is going to slip into a coma due to intestinal disorder on July 3rd. He is going to stay in this. Yeah, bad way to go. He's going to stay in the state until the afternoon of the 4th, where he would wind up passing away.
At what age? Do you have that on your little paper there?
Huh?
How old was he when he passed away?
I didn't look that up. You can Google it while I finish.
I'll Google it right now. This is Jefferson?
Yeah, Jefferson. And believe it or not, Johnny, around the same time that Jefferson passes away, Adams is going to lose consciousness in his chair. Adams would briefly wake back up at 5:30 p.m. on the 4th of July and utter his final words before passing away. And his final words, Johnny, were "Independence forever and Jefferson survives." And then he passes away, which is ironic on both statements, because he shit all over the Constitution, and Jefferson is already dead. So,
yep, 83 years old.
That's a really good age for the 1820s.
I mean, that's what I was thinking they were on their deathbeds in 1812 or whatever, because I figured they're mid-70s. It's end of the road for these folks. But I forget that they are not normal people. They are American royalty, essentially, and
that and the whole age, like the average age of death thing, is really skewed on the younger end when babies are dying all the time.
Child death.
So so if basically at that time,
you got to look at the stats of average death if they made it past 7.
Yeah. Basically, if they made it until their teenage years, they're probably similar-ish to what. And
that's been pretty much the same forever, really. I mean, maybe much, we might have gained like 10 years with stuff, but not a ton.
No. Well, and that's I felt I had to explain their love affair, hate affair, back to love affair before going into Jefferson and all the wonderful things that he's going to do. When we talk about our third president of these great United States.
That's it for this week in Historic Hindsight. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and join us next week when we talk about a secret government cheese bunker.